What did you do during the hurricane? Were you in town?
We are live. During the hurricane, I stayed put, and I enjoyed staying put. We're live. Ooh, look at my hair. Oh, I do. All right, we're doing this training in here. Anybody want to join us? Come and join us. All right. Oh, wow. Hey, it went all the entire Eastern Seaboard. All right, so thank you for tuning in tonight. My name is Eric Belair. We're going to get some training done tonight. And tonight's training, we're going to start off with something called referrals and how to get referrals. And I'm going to talk about that. We're going to get some questions answered. I do have my my cell phone was right here just a second ago. Don't know what to do with it. Thought I had my cell phone. Hold on a second. Here it is. If you want to text me a question, you can text me a question, and I'll answer those questions as you text me. Those people watching live and people in the crowd tonight, say hi to the crowd. Yeah, big crowd, big crowd. Okay. So take me out to the ballpark. Anyhow, so check it out. Referrals. There are three ways that I kind of talk to you tonight about how to get referrals. There's three different techniques that we have, and they're just ways of getting the person to give you names that you can call once you leave the home to talk to people about what you do and how you can help them. But here are three ways to get referrals, and I'm going to write it up here on the board. The first way to get referrals is I call it the pure referral, and we'll go into what a pure referral means, just a pure referral. The second way is ERS referrals, and we'll go into that. And the third way is the prescription discount card. Now, by the way, just getting referrals isn't the same thing as now how do you communicate with them and how you call them, because there's a certain particular way that you got to go about touching base with these people and getting in touch with these people. So the first thing is a pure referral. What's a pure referral? Okay, so Mary Jane sits with a client. Let me go over a couple scenarios. Mary Jane sits with a client. The client's got 3 children. They're all under the age of 10. And Mary Jane loves Foresters. She teaches the client about Foresters. She shows them the value of Foresters. And because the client's got 3 kids, the client buys Foresters, Dustin. They buy Foresters because they see the wow factor. Now, in my opinion, Mary Jane should take advantage of that by saying to the client, once she's all done, by the way, because of how great Foresters is, and you see that, do you know anybody else with children? Do you know anybody else with children? Why would you not use that line when they're in love with the product that much? Do you know with children? Anybody else with 6 kids, 5 kids, 3 kids, 2 kids? That's why they're buying it, because of the power of Foresters that you just showed them. Now, let's go to another example. Let's say you're helping a client with Transamerica, and this client has obesity problem. They have an overweight problem. And we know in our insurance industry today, weight is an issue when it comes to getting life insurance, except for 2 of our companies, Great Western and Transamerica. Because this is being videoed, I do need to say, though, Transamerica, it's not going to be that way for long. But Great Western's still there, where you don't have to have a question of weight if the client's over age 40 with Great Western, over age 45 with Transamerica, right? So now you can sit with a client who's overweight. They've been told by every other agent they can't get coverage. If they try to get coverage, it's expensive, or it's graded, or it's modified. But you get them coverage. You get them a great deal. You get them a level death benefit, and they're happy. What you should say is, do you know anybody else in the same boat you're in? Is there anybody else that you know that's also got a weight to height ratio issue? I mean, we're talking about anything. We're talking about, what if you sit with a client who has AIDS? What if you sit with a client who has a dying child and you're able to get that child covered? Whatever situation they're in and you were able to help them where other agents couldn't help them, you can say to them, no, in that same situation that I can help you get covered. When you mentioned how you took care of a client that was bamboozled, do you know anybody else that might have been bamboozled? Anybody else that agent might have bamboozled? Because I'd be more than that. That's how you can get referrals, right? Because you've done a great, noble thing, and now you're asking them, can I do this great, noble thing for somebody else you know in the same boat that you're in? So that's a pure referral. Now let me give you the basic pure referral. So I help out Aga, I help the family, and now, by the way, I'm sitting with Aga who wants life insurance. mortgage protection. Her husband wants life insurance. He wants mortgage protection. They believe they're going to die one day. They like my rates. They like my product. They like my service, so they wouldn't be signing the applications. So once I'm done, a pure referral question would be, do you or your husband know anybody else that's going to die one day? And you just smile like that. Do you or your husband know anybody else that's going to die one day? That's the same for all of them. We're all going to die one day. And all I want to know is if you know anybody else that's going to die one day, the reason I'm asking is I'd like to get their names and numbers because I'd like to be able to help them too. I'd like to be able to help them too with the great products and services I was able to help you with today. Oh, come on, folks. That's a pure referral. And when you get those pure referrals, it's a great way to call them because now you don't got to dance around. When I got a pure referral, I call right in and say, hi, Dustin, this is Eric Belair. How you doing today? Great. Listen, you don't know me, but we both know Mary Jane. Yep, I know Mary Jane. Great. Well, Mary Jane, I was at her house last night, and I was able to help her with some really important things when it came to life insurance and final expense. She was so fired up out of her mind about the products and the services and the pricing. She gave me your name and number, telling me that you might also be interested in talking to me about life insurance. That's a pure referral phone call because it's a referral phone call that had to do with pure life insurance, right? I don't got to dance around nothing. I'm calling you directly and telling you Mary Jane was pleased with my services and she wanted me to call you and provide my services. Now, I will say this to you, Todd. A referral to me is a gift, and I don't want to beat a gift horse in the mouth. So if Dustin didn't answer his phone and it was a voicemail, I have a choice to hang up and call again like a lead or leave a voicemail. But remember, it's a friend of somebody who gave me his number. And I don't want to be hanging up on him and not leaving messages because he'll see the phone number. And when I eventually do talk to him, he could say like, you don't leave messages? You've called me 3 times and hung up. I don't do that to a referral. I'll leave a message with the referral, actually. I'll sit there and say, hey, Dustin, this is Eric Belair. You don't know me, but we both know somebody by the name of Mary Jane. I was able to help her the other day with some life insurance. She was really, really happy with my services and my products. And she gave me your name and number, wanted me to give you a call because she thinks I can help you also. And I love helping people save money on life insurance. So if you can give me a call back, my number is boom, 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 boom. Now here's the thing about that. If you don't, now, by the way, I've left him a message. What do I do now with that referral name and number? I'm sorry, this is me. I'm done with it. My message is pretty clear. My message is pretty concise, and it was delivered. And now it's his job to call me back and talk to me. I'm not going to harass a referral. If I call him again and again and again, he's going to call up Mary Jane and say, get this idiot off my back. And then Mary Jane could charge back my sale because she's thinking I'm not the courteous man she thought I was and the professional that she thought I was. Here I am now hounding her friend trying to make a sale. I'll also tell you, I don't jump right on to calling them unless she wants to call it. Now, if we're at your house and you want to call him from your house, I'm all for that. Hey, let's call Dustin now. He's down the street. Hey, let's call Dustin now. He can come over. Or hey, can we call Dustin now? Maybe he can come over tomorrow and you can come back. Yeah, I'll do that. But if we're not making phone calls in the home and I leave with the list of names that I get, I don't call them until my next dialing day. I don't rush into calling them until my next dialing day because I'm busy already and I gotta. And now if you're dead in the water with no other sales to make that week and you want to get on the phone, that's up to you. But I'm going to wait until my dialing day to make my phone calls because I'm not rushing to them like I'm desperate, So there are pure referral phone calls. That's a pure referral. Just asking questions like, who else you know is going to die one day? Who else you know is in the same boat that you're in? Who else you know that might need some life insurance? Who else you know might like to save money on some life insurance? Pure referrals, right? Now, ERS. An ERS referral is different. An ERS referral, by the way, ERSs may not even lead to sales. Do you understand how if a person wants to meet with you here, you're more than likely going to make a sale because you're calling them about life insurance? Here, you're getting a list of names to complete a task that you've promised, and a task that you must complete if you want to build credibility with the client that gave you these names. So basically, I'm going to ask Todd at the end of the sale, and I'm going to show Todd the principles about life insurance and how people don't know they're the beneficiary. So when the person dies, the beneficiary step forward to collect the money. And it's a shame, but life insurance companies don't, and I don't think ever will, contact families out of the blue and say, hey, Social Security's told us your loved one's died and there's a benefit here. No, they don't do that. So what we do as an insurance agent and a company is we help clients prepare for that day and making sure their claim gets paid. So I would sit there and say to Todd, you don't want your death claim to end up being a statistic and not ever being paid. What we do is we help you get it paid by you giving us a list of names today of people you trust, and we build what we call your emergency response system. And what that is you give me names of people you trust, like accountants, lawyers, doctors, priests, friends, relatives, loved ones. And what I do is I reach out to them and I let them know that I sat with you tonight and I wrote you a policy, and I give them my name and my contact information, and I give them the name and the contact information of the insurance company you went with, so that when death occurs with you, they know to contact me and let me know so that we can get that death claim processed for your family. Because your family won't have the wherewithal to do it. Your wife will be at a loss, your kids will be at a loss. So we want these people that are extended outside of your family to take on that responsibility. So understanding the process, understanding the principle behind the process and what we're trying to accomplish, can you give me some names of some people that you would like to have on your emergency response system? So he starts giving me names and their phone numbers. He starts giving me names and their phone numbers, and I write them down. Because he doesn't want his death claim to go unpaid. He wants his death claim to be processed, and he doesn't want to be a statistic when it comes to unclaimed death benefits. So now I get the list of names and numbers. I leave. The next day, a week later, I make phone calls, and the phone calls are completely different. Now my phone call is, hey, Dave, Eric Belair calling. You don't know me, but we both know Todd. I was able to help him and his wife with some life insurance. I have the best prices in America. Yeah, I'll drop that seed. But he wanted me to call you, Dave, because he wants you to be on his emergency response list. Mainly, Dave, what that means is that when tragedy strikes him and his family, he wants you to know how to get a hold of me and how to get a hold of the carrier that he went with to make sure that the death claim gets processed. Are you willing to take on that responsibility for Todd and his family? If he says yes, I sit there and say, great. What I need is your address so I can mail you that information I just told you about. He gives me his address. And now I sit there and say, well, listen, Dave, I want you to know something. I am local, and I could come by and meet you personally and give you that information, and at the same time, save you money on your current life insurance. And if you don't have any, get you the best rate in America. Would you like me to mail it or come by personally and meet with you? He says, mail it. I'm mailing it, and I'm done. That's an ERS that I got from Todd, and I'm not going to harass the guy. You think I'm going to fight him? Really? Why? Why not be coming by? Why? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm going to complete the task that I promised I would complete. He said, "Oh, you know what, Eric? You make a lot of sense. That's what I'm trying to do. Make sense. And I would love you to look at the policy to see if you can save me money. Or Eric, you know what? I don't have any life insurance. I'd love you to come by and show me what you sold Todd. At the same time, you can deliver that information. I book an appointment. That's how I handle an ERS. So you ask for the ERS by building up the importance of it because of unclaimed life insurance in America today and how it can happen to you. And then once you get the names and numbers from the person that you're told why you were getting them. Now, did I look at you and say, I want these people's numbers to build your ERS, and oh, by the way, I'm going to try to sell them some life insurance. Now, by the way, if you say that, fine, then you could do it that way. But I doubt you're getting an ERS list by saying, by the way, I'm also going to try to sell. Now, I guess you can get the list of names. You can have them in your hand before you walk out the door and go, oh, by the way, when I call them up, I'm also going to try to sell some life insurance. As long as you cover that, then you can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, if you set the expectation with a client, you don't want to disappoint the client. You don't want the client to think like, that was sleazy. He asked me for names to build an emergency response system, and now he's harassing all of them to buy life insurance. That was sleazy. And then you're going to lose a sale. You're going to lose a client. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do that. I live up to the expectations that I set for the client and what my purpose is and what my intentions are. Will I plant the seed? Absolutely. Will I give them a choice? Absolutely. But my main intention is to do what I promised the client I was going to do. So that's the ERS one. Then you've got the prescription card program. And again, we have all these prescription card things that you can order, and they come inside of the new agent starter kit. You can get these. You can also buy these. These are prescription savings cards, And when you're in a home and you're helping family, you can look at the family once you're done helping them and you can say, listen, because you went with a life insurance policy with me today, Mary Jane, I want you to know that you're entitled to an RX prescription discount card. And what this will do for you is this will get you discounts on all future drug prescriptions that you get. Now, I want you to know something, Mary Jane. Not only are you going to get one of these, but because you did an application with me today, you're allowed to sponsor 3 other people that you know. And I'll be more than happy to send them one of these as well. Now, they don't see this whole entire thing in my hand because they're going like, can't you just give them to me all? You have a few on you, you take a few out, but you're not even giving her more than one. You're just giving her one. The other ones you're going to, so you give her the one, you say, by the way, because you went with a policy today, I'm also allowed to have you sponsor 3 other people. Now watch this. This is going to be magic. And I know people are looking at the camera. Watch it. You can actually sponsor 5 other people. Watch this. It's like almost Hollywood. You could sponsor 10 other people. I can say any number I want, right? Okay, you just how many cards you want to mail off. So she goes, really? I can sponsor 10 other people? I can sponsor 5 other people? I could sponsor 3 other people and get them a discount card as well? Yes, you can. I didn't realize you'd be so excited about it. Calm down a little bit. But no, you can sponsor, but you're so excited, you can sponsor anybody you want, okay, Dustin, anybody you want. But you can't take away the power of it, right? So you can be careful because you're getting all like, wow, she's very fun. You might want to say, I shouldn't do this, but 3 more. So then they give you the names, they give you the numbers, and you have that list. Now, when you call that list up, it's a little different. You call them up and say, hey, Alan, my name is Eric. You don't know me, but we both know a gentleman by the name of Dustin. I was sitting with Dustin and his family last night, and I was able to help him with some life insurance. And I have the best rates and products in America, but that's not why I'm calling. I'm calling because he got a discount prescription drug card for all of his future prescription purchases. And he was entitled to sponsor 3 other people. And he chose you to get one of these nice cards. What I'm calling you to do is to mail you the card that Dustin sponsored you for. And all I need is your name and is your address. So I can get it in the mail to you. So he says, what are you talking about again? Whatever. He might say, I want to call Dustin. Whatever. All that crap can happen. I want to call Dustin. When you call Dustin, call him back. Or, what are you talking about again? I re-explain it again slower. It's, and then I go, you want me to go ahead and mail it to you? Sure. What's your address? He gives me his address. And then I say, by the way, Alan, you're in my area. I'm always out there in Titusville. I'm always out there in Palm Bay. I'm always out there in Vero. I could actually bring it by to you next week personally, because I'd love to show you how I could help you save money on your life insurance and get you some if you don't have any at all at the best rate in America. It's up to you. I can mail it or bring it by. See what I'm doing there? I'm giving him the choice. If he says mail it, I'm sticking an envelope, living up to my task and my promise, and getting him the discount card. By the way, when I mail it to him, it's not just a discount card, it's a business card. It's about what I do, and it's about, selling him on the fact that if he ever needs life insurance or retirement protection, I'm his guy, right? So that is how I believe you get referrals in a home. That I believe you should call referrals after you leave the home. And I'm here to take any questions on that being texted to me or, asked out live here. I don't think, I'm here. Okay, they're texting on the phone, on the TV too. I can lean in to see it. Let me see what this one says. That's weird. It should be responding. Anyhow, anybody got any questions about that? Anything at all? Any thoughts? Before I go to the next topic. Todd? Nothing? Anything, really? Nothing? Yes, Mary Jane.
I like the first one, the pure referral. I hadn't heard anybody say that.
Yeah, the pure referral. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, a long time ago, I used to call the RX card, and I used to call the ERS program crutches. It's like a crutch it helps you, it aids you, it assists you. But the reason we had to create the crutches, in my opinion, is because people are too afraid to just ask for referrals. And I don't understand why people are afraid to ask for referrals, because the reason the client is doing business with you is they like you, they respect you, they feel you have a good deal, they feel you're giving them an honest price and an honest program. So I believe you're allowed to, and I know people hear the word sometimes, take advantage. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, take advantage of that by saying you can. And I know there's a negative thing about taking advantage, but then there's also a positive thing about taking advantage. You need to take advantage of an opportunity. You need to take advantage. That's how you succeed in life, right? We take advantage. I'm not saying in a negative way. So if you've got that client's respect, if you got that client's admiration, if you got that client's, trust, and that client's wanting to purchase from you, and they've signed the dotted line, take advantage of that at that moment by looking at them and saying, Mary Jane, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to have helped you tonight with your important life insurance needs. And I'm glad you chose me as your agent. And I'm glad you chose Foresters as your company. Let me ask you a simple question. Who else do you know that's going to die one day? And the reason I ask you that, Mary Jane, is because I want to help them all. I want to help them all. No, I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I just believe I have the best product in America. And why not you share that with people that you love? Now, by the way, you don't have to ask who's going to die one day. You could also ask, who else do you love? And I just heard it somewhere. You ready for their pure referral line? Here's their pure referral line. Who do you know that's going to die one day and their family is going to lean on you to help? Who do you know that's going to die one day and their family might lean on you for help? That was, I can't remember where I heard that from. I think it was somebody in Michigan said it. One of them, but my wife likes it. She goes, "What do you say?" I mean, I don't use that one, but it's another way of saying it. I appreciate you helping me tonight. Thank you. It's so important that you got this in place for you and your family. And boom, boom. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know that's going to die one day who's going to lean on you because they didn't do what you just did tonight? And all of a sudden they go, "Oh, my brother, or my father, or my sister, or my friend." Now, by the way, here's the thing about that one, though. And again, I don't mind the question, and I don't mind it being a pure referral question. But now that I think about it, when she's giving you those names, the reason she's throwing you out their names is she knows their mindset. And the way she's even her facial expression or his facial expression saying, "Oh, my dad," because he's not intelligent person, or he's an idiot, or he's stupid, or he's a moron. You know what I'm saying? I had a client the other day. I was asking, it was her parents, I think. Yeah, I just helped a lady, and something came up, and I said about her mother and dad. Her mother and dad, she goes, "Oh, no. Her mother and dad have what they call Neptune." And I sold her a policy, and I said, "Oh, they don't want Neptune, because Neptune, they're paying for this, and if they die and they haven't been finished paying for it yet, the family's still got to pay the difference to make sure it's paid for." Neptune's a funeral cremation kind of program. So you're paying like every month for so many months until it's paid in full. But if you died a third month in and you still have $800 left to pay on it, or $4,000 left to pay on it, you got to pay that when they die. It's not like it's not insurance. So I said, I talked to your mom and dad about that. And she goes, "Oh, no, not my mom and dad. No. My dad, he thinks he knows everything. He'll never talk to you." So when you say to somebody, "Who else do you know that's going to die one day that's going to lean on you," and they respond to you in a kind of like a negatory way, how easy it would even be to get that person by policy. If they're that darn ignorant or that doggone arrogant not to buy it already, and they don't believe in it, you're not going to try to make somebody believe in something they don't believe in. So I'd rather ask the question in a joyful, funny way, like, who else do you know? I know it's not funny, but who else do you know is going to die one day? Because I'd like to help them like I helped you tonight. So no questions on the board, no questions on the phone. Any other questions out there? Any questions at all? Let's see here. This link should be working. I'm sorry, 1 second. Somebody said the link's working. I just can't get onto the link. Link's working. I'm looking at myself. Sorry, Gigi. Don't know what to say. It's working. Sorry. I'm texting this person. It's working. Sorry. Recording put out later. All right. So basically, that's everything I wanted to talk about on referrals. So there's no other questions. No other questions, comments, concerns, side remarks. All right. We have the next thing. The next thing that people talk about today was hot knocking and hot knocking technique. And I think I have on it. I may not, but I thought I did. I'll go ahead and do this and show you hot knocking. So first of all, I have my necklace around my neck. I do wear a lanyard. I sell lanyards here for like $3. It allows me to put my business cards in it, and it allows me to carry my state ID around my neck, and it's a lanyard. And I wear my short sleeve shirt with my Mutual of Omaha logo on it, or my Transamerica logo on it, or I have my C&G logo on it. I prefer the Mutual of Omaha logo. On the back of my shirt, I have affordable life insurance, my phone number, call today, 401k rollover, etc. I'm just letting you know everything that goes into it, because it's all about how you dress and what you're doing. So when I go to the door, I have my Alliance activity book in my hand, and I have the lead in my hand. I also have a Post-it note in my hand. I also have a Forrester's benefits brochure in my hand, and I have a business card in my hand. So I go to the door with my Alliance activity book opened up to the week for scheduling purposes. I have the lead. I have the Post-it note underneath, and I have the Forrester's brochure and a business card when I do hot knocking. This is what I have in my hand. Now, this is a hot knock on a lead that's not answering their phone. We're not doing the survey right now. We're doing a regular hot knock, right? So when I get to the house and I have all this in my hand, a lot of time when I pull into the way or pull into the front of the house, I'll leave my car running. I'll leave it running. Sometimes I'll even leave the door open. Sometimes if it's in a bad neighborhood, I'll turn the car off and I'll lock the door. Really. But a lot of times I'll leave it running. Sometimes I'll leave it running, but I'll shut the door. It's just different things, just letting you know. So I get to the house and I get to the door and I knock on the door. For some reason, that's the knock that I use. The knock that I use is that same knock. It's, and I wait for somebody to come to the door. Now, I'm doing a lot of hot knocking off of senior leads, off of final expense leads. So a lot of these people are in their 70s. A lot of these people are in their high 60s, right? So I knock on the door. After I knock on the door, if they don't answer, I'll then ring the doorbell if I see a doorbell. I'm not afraid to ring doorbell. I'm not afraid of the Ring doorbell either. The Ring doorbell has a video. I'm not afraid of that. I'm hitting that too. So then I'll answer the knock, then I'll ring the doorbell. Bing, bong, and I'll wait a little bit longer. If nobody comes still after I've knocked and I've rang the doorbell, and I think possibly they may be at home, I'll call out their name. You'll see me on porches yelling out people's names. I'll yell out, Shaka, Alan. Well, you guys are in your 70s. I don't think you can hear a doorbell or a ring, so I'm trying to get your attention. Or you've come to the door and you're looking at the pee hole and you go, I don't know who that guy is. Who's that guy? Harold, look at this. Who is that guy? I don't know who that guy is. All of a sudden, Harold! Edith! They go, I swear to you, I know it's out behind that door. Because as soon as I call, I hear the shuffling. You hear the shuffling. You'll hear something. That's when I call their name, when I hear something. And then all of a sudden the door will open. And I go, hi, guys, how you doing? And show them. So right away, I go right to the lead. So when the door opens, I go right to the lead. And the reason I go to the lead is because I go right to the signature, right to the handwriting. And so the door opens up. Oh, by the way, the new final expense leads look a little different. So I fold them in half, and I'm just showing the postcard part of it. I don't show them the top part of it, which says PDR and stuff. But when I have it folded in half and they open the door, I immediately go, hi, my name is Eric Belair. I shake their hand. I give them my business card. And I say, I'm out here today because you sent this in, Gene. Is that your handwriting, Gene? And that, now, if they have a spouse on it, which sometimes they do, this one don't, and their spouse is Harold, or I'll sit there and say, or is it Harold's handwriting? Is it yours or Harold's? And they'll look at it and they'll go, oh, no, that's my handwriting. Wait, what's this about? And I'll sit there and say, this is about the new state-regulated program that can save you money on life insurance, final expense, cremation, and give you a bunch of free benefits. And that's when I grab the Forrester's brochure and I say, all the benefits are explained in here. And they go, oh, and what I'm here today to do is to try to schedule a time to come back and talk to you unless now's good. If I'm available then, I'll say unless now's good, unless now's good. And I'll sometimes go right to my car and they'll say, no, now's good. And I'll grab my laptop case and I'll go back into the home and I'll write the deal. But a lot of times they're sitting there going, no, today's not good. Can you come back? Can you come back? Can you come back? Now, when they say, can you come back? The problem with a hot knock and them saying that to you is sometimes it is blowing you off their porch. They're literally blowing you off their porch. And you're just thinking you just made an appointment and you didn't make nothing. So to solidify it, when they sit there and say, can you come back? You sit there and say, yes. And you open your calendar up and now you're looking at your calendar. Like I was doing hot knocks on Saturday, but I knew I was going to be up on Monday because of Disney. So I was saying, what's better for you, Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday or Wednesday, or even Thursday, right? So when the client sits there and says to you, Tuesday would work. What time? Morning, afternoon, evening. Same thing. You control it, right? You're controlling it, right? They go Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You go, great. I'll write that in. And now to solidify it, you sit there and you let them know how serious it is. By the way, these are some key questions I ask. My pen's out. I just wrote the time in my book, and I have the space at the bottom of the lead. I'll sit there and say, are you planning on being cremated or buried? Cremated. All right, cremated. Cool. Who do you plan on leaving this to? Do you have a relative, a son, a daughter, a spouse? My son. Okay, cool. Your son live here in Florida. Cool. I get some questions answered. It's not just, okay, I'll see you on Tuesday, 2 o'clock. I've got to make sure they understand that I'm being serious. This is serious. Let's get this done. I might even ask, are you a smoker? Have you had any major medical issues? Boom, boom, boom. Get that out of the way. And I'll make the notes, and then I'll leave. Now, if I I had an appointment for Wednesday, and I sat with that appointment. I know I wrote that appointment at 1 o'clock. But when I made that appointment, either it was last Friday hot knocking, I think it was last Friday hot knocking, and I made it for Wednesday at 1 o'clock because I knew I was going to be off on Monday. I even mailed her a letter. So I got back to my office. I settled in. That Saturday morning, I dialed. I might have mailed it Saturday, knowing it was going to get there by Wednesday. We're local. I mean, you mail something on Saturday, it's going to show up on Monday or Tuesday. It could even get there Monday, believe it or not. I didn't know this. I have brothers and sisters working at the post office. Mail moves on Sunday. I dropped something in to the Sanford post office box on a Sunday, and it was delivered next day on a Monday. And I called my sister Kimberly up. I said, I don't understand this. Sundays, post offices are closed. I dropped it in the post office on a Sunday night, and the person I mailed it to got it on Monday. She goes, Eric, that's because, one, you took it to a distribution center in Lake Mary. It's a distribution center. When I said, oh, I live over there. And she goes, second of all, we work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. There's always somebody back there. I said, what? She goes, there's always somebody back there. So they were shuffling through your mail the day you dropped it off. I said, what? So they actually did it and put it on a route, and it was delivered on Monday, which I could not believe. So I know that I'm a local community. I'm delivering mail to a person that's in the same county that I'm in, and it's going to arrive pretty quickly. So I mailed it on Saturday. She gets it on Monday. Even if she gets it on Tuesday, it's reminding her I'm going to be there on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Now, I even asked that question to them at the hot knock. I'll sit there and say, or if it's a certain person on the phone that I booked way out, I'll sit there and say, so, and by the way, a lot of them on the hot knock are writing it down. They're putting it on their calendar. They're doing something, right? And they'll say, give me a second. They'll go back into their house and they'll write on something. Or I'll sit there and say, do you want me to mail you a letter to remind you? Or are you got this? No, we got this. Now, let's say I did the hot knock all the way in Mims, which I'll hot knock in Mims. And let's say I live in West Melbourne, which is it's a 50-minute drive, an hour drive. It's an hour drive. And let's say the appointment's for, let's say it's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Okay, we don't because it's an activity call, but let's say it is. Personally, I am not going to just go out and drive an hour to that 10 a.m. appointment that I just hot knocked the day before, especially if it's an elderly person. If it's an elderly person, I'm going to call that person up and say, hey, I'm on my way. We still good? And they're going to say yes if they're seriously interested. I'm not afraid to call them and confirm the appointment. I want to alleviate frustration and wasted time. Give you another example about that and why you should do that from time to time, but not all the time, but time to time. I went to Vero Beach the other day. I had hot knocks to do, so I didn't mind. I did hot knocks in Sebastian on the way there. Boom, 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 knocked them out. And I got to my appointment at 5:30. I was no-showed by my own client who I'd sold a year before, who was sitting with me to go over his policies. He no-showed me. I called him up. He didn't answer, so I drove home. Later that night, he called and profusely apologized about forgetting. I called him. I rescheduled for tomorrow night, which I don't normally do appointments on a Friday night, but I'm doing it at 5:30. But I have other hot knocks to do in Vero. So I'm headed, I don't need to call him because I'm headed out there anyhow to do the hot knocks, try to book appointments for next week off these Vero Beach hot knocks, and I'll sit with him at 5:30. And I don't think he's going to no-show me twice in a row. Matter of fact, because he feels bad about no-showing me, he probably will add an extra policy.
Or did.
Right.
Make sure you got your big pen.
Right. I will. Big pepper, big premium. So, so basically, that's how the hot knock runs down. I use hot knocks, taking my laptop case to the front door with me. But, that's all. I have a heavy laptop case. It's a lot. And that's with the expectation I'm going to get in the door. And I know that's good to have that expectation, but I also felt it was a lot of lugging in and out, and it all for my shoulder. So basically, I leave it in the car and I go to the door with no expectation of getting into the house right then. The expectation is to book an appointment for later, but I do plant the seed. I can help you now if you'd like, or I can come back. And more than likely, I'm not really even ready to help them now at that moment because I have other appointments I'm trying to get to. But tomorrow afternoon, for example, when I start hot knocking around 1 o'clock, and before I get to that appointment at 5:30, I'll hopefully get into a home tomorrow. And I usually do get in a home. I believe statistics say this on hot knock, and I think they can actually be better than this. Out of every, worked out, by the way, we're talking A3 leads, okay? This is another thing that I do, and I'm not telling you guys to do this. I buy A3 leads still. I get about 10 A3 leads a week. And I don't even call those leads. I immediately hot knock them. That's what I do with A3 leads. I go hot knock them. And out of 10 A3 leads that I get a week and I hot knock them, I'm definitely getting into one of their homes. Definitely. Off of 10 hot knocks, you should definitely make one sale. So every week I get A3 leads. And by the way, these are leads that have been worked by other agents, possibly even in this room. I make a sale out of 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10, right? So the rest of the point is this on the hot knock. So you do the hot knock, and now let's say they don't answer the door. If they don't answer the door, I write on the delivery note and I stick it on their door. Some people do little things with the delivery note, like put a code thing down. I don't. I just put Dustin, his last name. I always put second attempt, unless it is my third attempt. And I rarely hot knock a house twice. It's usually just once. Put second attempt. That's the first time I'm hot knocking. My first attempt was calling them. Or somebody else tried to call them. Apparently, it's an A3 lead. I put the date and then I put the time, and I have my name and my number stamped at the bottom of it. And I put it on the door. And I try to make sure it doesn't blow away, try to put it in the crack of the door, make sure it stays there. And then step, I don't do that anymore either. I used to call from the doorstep to see if they'd answer the phone, hear the phone ringing in the house, and do the call at that time and try to get a hold of them. But I stopped doing that. So now, and I'll tell you why. So now I just leave the delivery note and I leave. And on top of the lead, I write down hot knocked on 9/10, 9/11, 9/12. Once I leave the house, I'm expecting a phone call back. Who wouldn't call you back from a damn door knock tag, right? Well, some people don't. And the reason some people don't is because we're not the only people doing the hot knock. Members in A3 lead, 2 other people before me might have been doing the hot knock. So it looks familiar. I know that trick, so they don't call me back, right? What I do, once I get the hot knock delivery sticker there, nobody calls me back. What I do is on that Saturday, I take that same day, not that Saturday, that same day I get back to the office, or the very next day, I send them all a letter. I send all these people a letter. I copy their A3 lead, a letter saying I've been trying to get a hold of you, and I mail them the letter. So on the top of that lead, I not only wrote hot knock 9/10, now I wrote letter 9/11. Hot knock 9/9/9, I sent letter 9/10, because the letter is either the same day or the very next day. So I've hot knocked them with a Post-it note, never call me back within 24 hours. Now I'm sending them a letter. So that Saturday is when I finally call that A3 lead for the first time, the following Saturday. So I've hot knocked it this week, and then the following week I call it. So if anybody ever hear me dialing in the morning on Saturdays at 9 a.m., my first hour is calling people that I haven't gotten a hold of or haven't called me back, and I leave messages. I'm leaving messages for those A3 leads, because that's how I work an A3 lead. So I'm calling them up saying, hey, Dustin, this is Eric Belair. I've been trying to get a hold of you. You give me a call back, that'd be great. Boom. All right, they'll answer the phone. And I say, I'm the one who delivered the note. Blah, blah, blah. By the way, the ones that do call you back, I also book appointments with, and I tell them what I was out there for. I said I have a postcard. And some don't believe what I'm talking about. So I'll take a pic. I say, is this your cell phone, Alan? Is this your cell phone? Yeah. Do me a favor. I'm going to take a picture of something. I'm going to send it to you, and you can give me a call right back if it looks familiar. I'll take a picture of that A3 lead and I'll send it to you. I fold it in half so they don't see my notes, and I'm just taking a picture of their handwriting and the verbiage of the A3 lead, the final expense lead, and I'm sending it to you. And then you're seeing it, and you'll text me back, sure, when can we chat? You'll text me back, not interested anymore. You'll text me back, stop calling me. You'll text me back, oh, I forgot doing that. Whatever, but I'm communicating and resolving a lead down to the last bit that I can get. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I do a hot knock. Yeah.
Are you only getting the A3 leads with signatures on them?
Yes. Direct mail leads only. That's me. Didn't used to always do that, but that's what I do now. Because it's the easiest way to communicate. This your handwriting?
Right.
This your handwriting? So yeah. How about
the internet leads when they're newer?
Yeah. I used to work internet leads. I haven't. Right now, my mix is I buy 10 A final expense leads, and I buy 10 A3 final expense mortgage leads. So my 10 fresh leads are final expense only, and then my 10 A3 leads are a mix of final expense and mortgage, but all are DML, direct mail leads. That's my mix. Now, when I first started doing this back in 2009, I got any lead and every lead. And of course, all the years I've been there, done that. I've got internet leads, I've gotten telemarketed leads, I've gotten television leads, but I just am firmly engaged in these because of the system I have in place. Any other questions? Yes.
So I've been wanting to know, like, what kind of response rate do you get on your letters?
Well, listen, I've had some great success stories on letters. It's the same as my car. I spent $1,800 on the car wrap, and I might get a phone call every 3 months, every 2 months, who knows? One day I could get a call every week. I don't know how it's going to work. But my letters, there's a couple of reasons I do my letters. One, I am getting responses. I get people to call me. I get people that know who I am. I like getting into their houses, and I see my letter there. I have a stamp that's actually got my face on it. I don't know if you know that or not. So we purchased postage stamps that actually have my image on it. It looks like my tie, my suit, my business card. So that's cool. So I'm doing it for imagery. I'm doing it for representation. You wouldn't believe lately how many clients I'm sitting with that are saying, "I've seen your car. I've seen your car." Today, I had an appointment with a client today. He was the husband of a woman I sold 2 weeks ago. He called me yesterday. He didn't want to do it that day. He called me, goes, "Can you come out to my place today?" I went back out there today, even though I don't normally work on Thursdays in the field, because a lady no-showed me yesterday in MIMS, forgot about me, said I scheduled the appointment for Tuesday. I didn't. I scheduled it for Wednesday. She goes, "No, you told me Tuesday." I waited all day Tuesday. And I'm sorry, but we did it today. So I drove all the way back out to MIMS today to do her. Luckily, this guy called me yesterday and said, "I want you to come by and do me today." We picked out at 12:30. He was in Titusville on the way back. I'm sitting with him, and he goes, his friend showed up, and his friend was a Marine because my car's with the American flag on it. And he goes, "Oh yeah, we just drove by your car the other day." Yeah, I saw it. I said, and he even said, "What a jerk!" And I said, "Yeah, my car's getting around, so I'm making a name for myself." A lot of my clients recognize my car, and of course, the letters are explaining to people the importance of life insurance and what we do when it comes to life insurance, retirement protection. And even if it doesn't sink in now, it could sink in later. That's a good one, good fun. I'm not going to give up on them, whether I'm getting a high response or a small response, because it's only a 50-cent stamp. I guess that's what it's up to now, 50 cents. Ours are higher than that. I don't even know. So I've already invested $3 or $4 in an A3 lead. Why not spend the extra 50 cents? Right. I'm communicating them any way I can, getting it out there any way I can. But I mean, I've had some big sales. I've also sent letters to people. I love sending letters to people that say they're not interested. And I have a not interested letter. It's really well written. And I'll remember this one. I got a $3,000 deal on a guy that said no, committed to saying no. I sent him the letter. When he said he wasn't interested, he read the letter. He called me up. He goes, "I understand what you're saying here. Why don't you come by and show me what you got?" I did. And I beat the deal he was going with a Mutual of Omaha GUL. And that was like a $3,000 AP off of a letter. So, and that week, I think I had a few of them off of letters. I even texted Andy about it. Albright, blah, blah, blah. But some weeks are high, some weeks are low, some months are high, some months are low. I don't really care. But the letter program's a good program.
Okay. Just consistency over time.
Yeah. Plus the image is getting out there. Eventually my stamp's out there too. People are going to see me in the grocery store. People are going to see me. Hey, listen, I'm recording this, but I'm driving around town all the time, right? We're human beings. We got to eat. We got to go poop, right? We got to go pee, right? So my favorite bathroom is Publix. I love Publix. So I know all the Publixes around Broward County. I know all the Publix. I know all the Publix in Bureau. I know all the Publix in MIMS. But the Publixes know me too. And the people walking around Publix and parking in Publix parking lots and stuff like that. So my stamp, my car, I wish I would have put a picture of me on my car, and I didn't, like the lawyers on the buses, but it's on my stamp. So I'm rolling. Sometimes when I used to hot knock, incognito. Because I don't know more. Now people know who I am. I mean, they see my car in the driveway. But before, now everybody has these rings. And the rings, you can't be incognito when you have on the back of your shirt and you're walking away in the back of your shirt. So people would be mysteriously like, "Who is this trying to deliver to our house?" But now they go, "Oh, that's the guy trying to sell us flat." Because I'm walking away with a shirt on. It says, because everybody has rings now, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to even do it incognito anymore. I don't care if they know who I am. I'm not trying to be a mystery. I'm trying to be a fact.
Right.
I'm a fact. I help people with life insurance and retirement protection.
Yeah.
So, any other question? I mean, that's the thing about some people's phone scripts too. They're still trying to still be a mystery. You know, our leads aren't a mystery. I really don't think our leads are a mystery. I mean, our telemarketing isn't a mystery. When we send these people's houses, this is not a mystery. This is a fact. And we're getting people to respond to these facts. If it was a mystery, it would be all vague, and it would be like hidden language, and it would be like what's that called? Invisible ink. And then once they send it back and it went through the sunlight and through our office, all of a sudden it would appear. And they go, I didn't sign that. Yeah, you did. That's the ink. It just showed up 3 days later. We're not a mystery. I don't think we should be.
Yeah.
That's me. Any other questions? Any other comments about hot knocking? Anybody?
Your surveys, do you feel like they're not as concrete of an appointment?
If you do a survey?
Yeah.
No, I think it's still an appointment. You got to do the same way on a hot knock. You're knocking them down because you're doing the survey, and the survey I really love. I mean, I don't personally do them because I got money to buy leads. And surveys are for people who don't have money to buy leads and who want to get out there in front of people at the very cost-efficient way. Because different things that we can spend. We can spend time, we can spend energy, we can spend money to get ourselves in front of families, right?
Right.
So if you don't have a lot of money to spend, a lot of time to spend, then go out there and do surveys. But when you're doing the survey, when you knock on the door, knock, knock, and they answer the door, see you're wearing that Mutual of Omaha shirt, you got that clipboard in your hand. The only difference with the survey is that you got the clipboard in your hand and you still got your scheduling underneath it, but you don't need the you don't need a lead. You don't need the Forester's brochure. You can have business cards in your pocket, but that's not even really the point there. You're not even handing up. You're not, because you're surveying. Hi, my name is Aga, and I'm out here today doing surveys with Mutual of Omaha. She can point at her chest right there where the Mutual of Omaha logo is at. My name is Aga. I'm out here today doing surveys for Mutual of Omaha. I want to know if you have a moment for a quick question survey. That's all it is, a 2-question survey. And the reason they say yes is because you're smiling. The reason they say yes because you're out there in the hot sun sweating. And they're going to go, sure. If it's just 2 questions. If it's just 2 questions. Now the question is, here's the big question before you ask those 2 questions: is Aga willing to go out there in the heat of day and hot knock 100 doors, or hot knock 50 doors, or hot knock 20 doors? And by the way, Aga doesn't need to do it in the heat of day. She can wait till between 6 and 7. She can wait between 7 and 8. She can wait till the sun's going down and go out and do an hour's worth of hot knocking and doing surveys in a neighborhood, in her own neighborhood, her own neighbors, which I made a sale on one time because of my car. That made me that right there paid for the route. That guy didn't know I doing life insurance until he saw my car, so that paid for the route. I don't really care. But anyhow, if I ever get a phone call again. But anyhow, I can't wait till the day I get a call that says I'm back with 401k roll. Can't wait for that one. So Aga's sister says, okay, cool. This is a really cool thing, Aga. Really, really easy. Okay, they said yes to the 2-question survey. My first question is, do you, because it's an adult usually speaking to you. Oh, by the way, I've never covered up a child answer the door. Is your mommy, your daddy home? You want to talk to an adult, right? So the adult comes to the door. The adult comes to the door, and you sit there and you say, do you or any other adult in this home have life insurance? You're a Mutual of Omaha rep doing a survey. That's the question. Do you or any other adult in this home have life insurance in force? And you can add very quickly, not including work insurance. We're not talking about employment provided insurance, because that's not real. You don't got to go into those words, but they'll sit there and say yes or no. It's a simple question. It's a yes or no answer. And here's your response. If they say yes, we do. Your second question on the survey, right there on a clipboard: would you or any other adult in this home like to have those policies reviewed to make sure you're in the newest state-regulated program designed to save you money on insurance and you a bunch of free benefits? First of all, who in the hell would say no to that? Who would say no to that? Why would you not want your policy reviewed to make sure you're in the newest state-regulated product designed to save you money and get you a ton of free benefits? Who would not want that? Don't know. I don't know. If you're smiling pretty and you're doing your job, you're going to get in the house. So anyhow, that's the second question. If they said yes, now they're going to say yes to that, and you do get to some other questions because they said yes. I'm sorry, because now you go, okay, cool. When would you like an agent to come out here and visit you? What would you like? It could be me. I could be the one. You can say that. You don't got to actually say you are the agent. You can say, what would you like? It could be actually me too, but when would you like the agent to come? I have a schedule book right here. The agent can come out here tomorrow or can come out here next week, whatever's best for you, whatever time of day is for you. What day's best for you? Or you can tell them the days, you're controlling your schedule. You can have an agent come out here on Monday or Tuesday. We can have an agent come out here on Monday or Tuesday, and it could be me. We can have an agent come out here on Monday or Tuesday. It could be me. What time? Monday morning, afternoon, or evening. Now the same thing like you're doing on a hot knock. Once they say Monday, you got to dial it down and then make it more real. By the way, who are you with? How much are you spending a month? How much is your coverage? Has your health changed? How long ago did you get it? Because you're wanting to be prepared to go in there and blow that deal away.
Right.
And that was, you're not just asking that one question and leaving. Oh, I got an appointment at 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock. No, you don't. You don't got nothing. He blew you off. You got to ask some other questions to make sure he understands that you're doing due diligence. You're okay. And then you would say, now, by the way, I'm going to do a lot of work before I get back here Monday to show you a company, because I represent 16, that can beat what you've already got. That can beat what you've already got. Now, is he going to make you work and then no show you? That'd be rude, right? And it could happen, but you're telling him you're going to save him money and get him free benefits. Who wouldn't want that? And by the way, there's nobody says you can't call them and confirm it. So Monday comes around. Hey, Hank, I met you over there. I'm actually the agent that's been assigned to do this. You said 1 o'clock, and I'll be there. We're still good?
Yeah.
Now, this 2-question survey, the first question was, do you or any other adult in this home have any life insurance? And the answer this time is no. No, we don't. Would you like to know about the new state-regulated product designed to save you guys money on life insurance and get you the best deal in town with a lot of free benefits? So basically, it's the same second question. And you're looking for them to say yes. If they don't know what you homes, and it takes you an hour to knock on 20 homes, and let's say one person says yes, you really just made $1,200, and it didn't take you all day Monday to write the deal. But we can just go ahead and write off 2 full days. That's not bad income. But people aren't willing to do it for some reason. That will make you hopefully do it. It's a thing you call things that make you say, out of the 20 doors or the 50 doors, might have just got a letter from the Alliance about mortgage protection. Community that you work with people that are in the process of buying life insurance, or just made an appointment with another agent, or just were thinking about it, or just did it. And it's magic, because they look at you and go, this isn't. Matter of fact, ready for the real magic? You knock on a dang door and they go, you're here early. And you go, yeah. You're the life insurance agent, right? Yeah. Well, I was expecting you at 1:30. Well, I'm early. Wait till that happens. And then you're in the house sitting at the dining room table writing the policy, and the real agent shows up at 1:30 and the guy goes, hold on. Gets up and goes, hold on a second. I'm God's will. Really? Could it happen? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's called magic. It's called life. But you knock on some people's door. I sit with some people. I talk to some people. I just got life insurance. Really? With who? State Farm. With who? New York Life. Really? Let me show you how to save some money. Or I got an appointment next week with a guy. Really? With who? State Farm. Is he telling you got to have a nurse? Well, yeah. I'm telling you, you just don't know. So why not knock on doors where you don't know what's behind it? It could be somebody who just got married. By the way, let's forget about the person who sent in the letter. Let's forget about the person who's thinking about it. Let's forget about the person who just bought one. The reason our letters work, the reason our telemarketing works, the reason our TV ads work is because it poses on people's minds the possibility of death and the fact that there's something happened in their life and that they should get life insurance. So let's even make it bigger. How do you know the door you're knocking on isn't a door that just got married? How do you know a door you're knocking on isn't a door that just had their 50th birthday? How do you know the door you're knocking on isn't a door that just lost their mother at age 80? How do you know the door you're knocking on isn't a door you're knocking that they just lost their brother of cancer at age 60? So again, you're knocking on a person's door, bringing them to the attention of something that they need or should have, and all of a sudden you're there at the right time, at the right moment, because you're freaking knocking on doors. You understand?
Yeah.
Or we can sit home and watch cartoons. It's your decision. It's your life. So we can either get in front of people, tell them who we are, what we do, and how we can help them, or we can stay home and watch cartoons. Or we can play video games and make $1 million a month like Ninja. I don't know. If you're that good.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have a question? So we've covered a couple of things tonight. We've covered hot knocking. We've covered referrals. Have we covered anything else, or there's 2 things?
No, that's it.
What else?
I have a question. Like, say, Like, if she works at a casino, is there a way that you would recommend to approach other people in the casino to sort of find business?
First of all, she has to ask for permission because you want to get it terminated. So you got to ask your boss. I would say you don't want to get terminated, right? You want to keep that job, or you don't care if you get terminated.
But what about like in EDR for employee, like on my break?
Okay, so first of all, if you do me a favor, Dustin, if you go back to my refrigerator, right there where the water's at, there's 3 postcards. Can you give me one of each?
Yeah.
I want to show her something. So Mutual of Omaha allows you to order postcards from them for free, and you can get 2,000 of each category of product that they sell. And on that postcard, they've got their $35 billion logo, Indian head, and they have the product information. And then you could put on it your name, your phone number, your email address. And what you can do with these is you can put, if again, with the permission of your company, you could take this and you can tack it on an employee bulletin board, front there, back there. So people are coming in looking at this and they're seeing Eric Belair phone number, his email address. They're seeing rates. They're seeing the information about Child Whole Life, or they're seeing information about that's Child Whole Life. I'm sorry. This one's Mutual of Omaha Accidental Death, and this one is Whole Life for adults. So basically, you post that up, and now they're looking at it, and they see your information. And if you want, you can take a red marker and circle that. Or you can even take a stack of these and stack them up and let them go to waste, because how much did they cost you? Let's say you put 50 of them in there, and the next day you go in there, and they're all thrown in the trash. I put 50 more. How much did they cost you? They're free. Until all 50 get thrown in the trash, all 2,000, then you keep putting them there. You keep putting them there until the person who's thrown in the trash gets triggered, and then they stay there for a couple of days. You might get lucky. So all I'm saying is that if you want to advertise at work or places like that, you could take these things. If you put these in your car, which I'm going to do after today, you can go into a Wawa, like he said, and you can put it on their bulletin board. You can put, who knows what might get picked up. I used to give these to clients and ask clients to put them on in their workstation and put them in their employee break room. I haven't done that in a while. Matter of fact, I might do that again. Say, would you mind putting these in your break room? You never know if you might get a phone call or not. I've told people to take these and put Child Whole Life postcards at like daycare centers and places like that. But at your own employee, if your employer doesn't get mad, you could sit there and you say, you could tell people, if they say, hey, what are you doing at work? You're allowed to talk, right? They say, what are you doing at work? I'm going to a bar. I'm going out dancing. I'm going to a movie. I'm going to work. What, you going to work? Yeah. Outside of this, I also do this. And I really love helping people save money on life insurance. You wouldn't believe how great our products are, how great our pricing is, and how we help protect people with retirement money. And by the way, we need some help too. I'm making about $550 extra a week outside of this. Now you got an employee who's interested in possibly the product and the fact, where can I come to work for you? How do I do that? Because you're allowed to talk in casual conversation. Your boss comes to you and says, what are you doing? Telling people they asked me what I was doing after work. Was I going to do lie? I'm going to help people save money on life insurance. I wasn't promoting it. They asked me a question. You can ask them. So, but I just don't want you to get fired because you're working a job where you're not allowed to be talking about it, But if you are allowed to talk about it, I would mention it to everybody you can. Just figure out unique ways to do it. But this is a very unique way to do it. Getting postcards for free that you can have and you can hand out or put in stacks in places to where people can grab them, put them on the bulletin boards and stuff like that. Does that help? Or
A little bit. I mean, they're very strict, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to leave any
Postcards,
kind of postcard on
Right.
billboards. It's not going to happen,
right.
for sure. So I know that, but especially like my close friends, coworkers, they have like 1,000 excuses. Like when I try to tell them what I do, everything. So they're like, they have like different more things to do. They're like, oh, maybe later, maybe this.
You talking about selling them, or you talking about trying to get them recruited?
Both.
Right.
So it's not that easy. I was sure it's going to be easier. I don't know.
Right. Well, I can tell you that you got to be, again, if you're talking to coworkers and you're trying to talk to them, I would make it fun. Like if they ask you, what are you doing? Or listen, if they say, hey, every chance you get, you should do it in a fun way. Like, hey, you want to go and drinking out tonight? Listen, have you ever been asked to do something outside of work? Like, hey, do you want to do this outside of work? Do you want to go to a movie? Do you want to go eat to dinner? Do you want to go drinking? Anytime you get asked that, you should be fun, have fun with it and say, I can't, I got a job. I can't go help people say, I got to go save somebody with money on life insurance. They go, what? I got to go protect somebody's 401k. What? And now you got a right to explain yourself, because they went like, what? Well, I can't, even if you can, you don't want to because you're going into their realm and you want them to come into your realm. So if I'm at a job and somebody says, hey, you want to go out drinking later? Hey, you want to go out shooting later? Hey, you want to go out doing this later? I wish I could, man, but I got an appointment to go save somebody's people money on life insurance. Or I got an appointment to go protect somebody's 401k. Or I got to get to this meeting tonight because I'm hiring 3 other people from my other job or my other business. And they're going to go, what? What do you do? And that you get them interested because they're going to, what the heck are you talking about? And the other way to get them interested is as you start making money doing this, start wearing, nicer jewelry, nicer shoes, bring a nicer car to work.
Right away.
And they go like, what you doing? Now they might make security in because you work at a casino, and they might want to see if you're doing anything wrong. Remember that Superman movie where Richard Pryor went out? I don't want to forget what it was, an old Superman movie, but he went out and bought this expensive car after he did something, and Superman was like, "What an idiot!" It was Richard Gere? Was it Richard Gere? What was the guy? No, Richard Gere. No, Richard. No, that was Richard Pryor, the comedian. But who's? I can't believe I forgot Superman. The guy that got disabled. They say his name all the time.
Oh, Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve. Yeah. Those are all right. Any other questions, comments, or concerns on hot knocking or on referrals?
I got a last minute kind of tying into the surveys. What I'll say I'm with the Florida Department of Financial Services. I'm a licensed life and health agent when I'm doing the surveys. Do you think that's okay?
I wouldn't use that personally. I would use Mutual Omaha.
Okay.
Because I don't think the Department of Financial Services is going to send out people to do surveys, but Mutual Omaha would.
Okay.
Mutual Omaha would. And by the way, you're not going to get a Department of Financial Services T-shirt.
No.
But you can get a Mutual Omaha one.
Right.
And that Mutual Omaha logo goes a long way. I like it. Have you got one yet?
No, I haven't got one yet.
Then I'd loan you one. I'd loan you one. It's got my phone number in the back.
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
I can't forget that from it.
Buy those?
I sell so many, I get them for free. I sell so much, I get them for free. And then the back I put on at the print shop. But the shirts I get for free. I've never bought a carrier shirt. But if you want a carrier shirt, you can buy them from the carriers. But when you sell as much as you can get them for free.
See, what I worry
But if you want to
about,
wear the one in the back, you can borrow it.
I like the Alliance shirts. What
That's
I
fine.
worry about is the Mutual of Omaha is people do recognize that. And, I'm afraid they won't even give you a chance to, if they see that.
Why would they
Yeah.
give you a chance?
Because they know it's about life insurance where you can't.
That's what I said though.
explain-
I'm not a mystery.
Right, you're not a mystery.
That makes my job easier. Think what you just said. Think about what you just said. They know it's life insurance, so they don't want to talk to you. Makes my job easier. They're going to find out eventually, right? So now you don't wear the life insurance. They don't know your life insurance. They think you're the plumber. They think you're the tree cutter. They think you're the landscaper. What are you going to say when it finally gets around to life insurance?
I'm not talking about disguising the fact that life insurance so much as I want to tell them about the newest state regulated product,
Right.
where
You want to get it out of
they see
you want to get it out of your
they
mouth.
might not give it the chance,
Well, if you think, I don't think Mutual Omaha is going to turn anybody off. I mean, I had a lady in Tampa do it named Megan, and she said it worked for her. She made 2 sales off in her first week. So that was pretty amazing. But that's your decision. If you want to wear the Alliance shirt, then you got to sit there and say, I'm out here with the Alliance,
Mhm.
doing a survey.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
then they're not going to know what the survey's about. See, with me, it's a life insurance survey.
Yeah.
However you want to do it, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
That's what when you're more comfortable with it, you're more likely to do it. So get comfortable with it and then go do it.
Right.
And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. You got to change up.
Okay.
No questions been texted to me on the TV screen. No questions been texted me on the phone. So let's go to another topic. Hold on. I have a customer ask me for what the certificate fee is that Foresters charges. I know that it's included, but what is it for? Every carrier has a policy fee. It's all built into the premium. It's just the cost of having that policy written and managed on a yearly basis. But it's all part of the actual premium. But if you looked at the actual policy pages of any policy, it gives you the premium and it breaks down what makes up the premium. So you've got this that makes up the premium. And every single carrier out there has a policy fee that makes up their monthly premium. And over the year period, it could end up being $60, $36, $48. It doesn't matter. It's just the fee that they charge to process and manage the policy and do the policy. It's just how they create the policy premium. So it's irrelevant because it is the premium. But if a client ever asks you about it, it is the premium. You can't minus that from the premium. It is the premium. See if I have another question here. I do have a couple other questions here. Let's see what they got. That's the certificate fee. When we just answered it. I can see the AE postcard. Can you show it in front of the camera? Okay, so basically there are 3 postcards that Mutual of Omaha has. This postcard here is the Mutual of Omaha accidental death postcard. This is the back of it. This is the front of it. You can contact Mutual of Omaha, or you can email Bobby Belair at yahoo.com, Bobby, B-O-B-B-I, Belair at yahoo.com, and you can ask her to send you the order form, and you can order these postcards. This is the Mutual of Omaha Whole Life Living Promise for seniors, Whole Life Living Promise, front and back. And you're allowed to get 2,000 of these per different product type, and then you can order these and give them away or mail them out. This one's Child Whole Life. Child Life. So, all right. So the last thing I want to cover this morning, or this morning, this evening, I'm tired. This morning, I want to. That's great. I want to cover annuities for a minute because I was able to help another agent with annuities this past week. And she wasn't even on my team, and we went out together, and I helped her close a $50,000 annuity. And I am here to help cross members as well with that if they ever need me to. The sale was split, so it was a $48,000 annuity. She got $24,000. I got $24,000. She'll get paid on $24,000. So basically, though, it was a really well put together presentation, and I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I really got the guy's attention. The way I've taught it before is because when I go into the annuity pitch, or the product pitch, he was 68 years old and he was coming up on RMD age. And he needed to realize and understand that he was going to have to start taking the money out of his annuity, out of his 401k, out of his IRA. So I went right to the website that I have in that email I've shown before, where it explains to you how to calculate your RMD, right? Mm-hmm. So RMD has to start at age 70 and a half. And I went right to the website showing him his $48,000. And I went ahead and I even said it would grow at 6% a year. And over the next 2 years, it would grow. And when he turned 70 and a half, his income would be so much money per year for not the rest of his life, by the way. This is RMD. So let's say it started out, and again, I don't have all the figures in front of me, but let's say it started out at $4,000 a year at age 70 and a half that he would have to take mandated. And I don't think it was that, it was nowhere that high. But the next year, if it didn't grow at 6%, which it's not guaranteed to grow that every year, his RMD the following year could be only $3,800. And his RMD the following year could only be $3,600. Because your RMD is a calculation of what you still have in your pot. But your pot, if you're taking money out of it, is going to decrease as you out of it. Now, the way it is designed, it's designed to expect that you might live to be 92 years old, and after that, you most likely will have zero left in your bucket based on how the economy works. Now, I will tell you this is barring no major market collapse. Barring no major market collapse. If the market collapses majorly over the rest of his lifetime, over the next 10 years, and this 48,000 drops 50% down to 24,000, now his RMD will still last till possibly 89 or 90, but it ain't gonna be anywhere these numbers. Now it drastically drops. The next year, the government says, well, listen, your RMD, if you want this to last, we're mandating you take out 2,000 this year. I mean, it drops so much. And then next year it might be 1,900, next year 1,700. But you see, RMD would drop if his bucket drop dramatically because of a market loss, which you can't control a market loss if you keep your money in an IRA and you systematically distribute it to yourself, RMD law, right? So some people leave their money in an RA, leave their money in a 401k, and to systematically take it out like RMD tells them to, but they have no idea what might happen to it because of an economic crash. So went over all that with him, showed him the numbers, showed him the RMD loss, showed him everything, showed him the RMD calculation, put it right into their calculator, showed him their calculator. And it made common sense because I went to the next one. I said, okay, now let me show you something that's guaranteed 100% without a shadow of a doubt. You're never going to lose any money because of a market collapse. You're not going to lose any money because of an economic downturn. No terrorist attack, no bad government decisions. It ain't going to happen. So when you turn 7.5 by putting your money into this product, and now hypothetically speaking, because the numbers were off, but it was a lot more, now your income would be $6,000 a year, starting at 7. But stay there. It won't decrease, so you don't got to play around with your budget. And it will be there not just until 92, but till 102 and beyond, no matter how long you live. So one, you can figure out your lifestyle without any ifs, ands, buts about it. By the way, in an annuity, as we're paying him this $6,000, do you understand, and some people don't know this, the annuity could grow back what he takes out. It could still gain back what he took out. I'm not saying it's going to, but it could. But he's still replenishing the bucket. But when he replenishes the bucket here, it's not going to lower this. This is guaranteed. Even if he runs that bucket to 0 at age 92, he's still guaranteed $6,000 a year for the rest of his life. You understand what I'm saying? On the RMD, when you ran your bucket to 0 and the RMD law says you get this much percentage of what you have in your bucket, but your bucket's 0, what do you get? 0. So here, I don't care if you run your bucket to 0 or not, you're still guaranteed this. Now, I don't know if that's what had him, but let me tell you what else I said. And this is what really got him, I think. Do you think that you might become disabled? Do you think you might end up losing 2 of your ADLs? Do you think that you might end up having a situation of Alzheimer's or dementia with that on the rise? Because you know if you lose 2 of your ADLs, or if you end up in a nursing home, this money would increase. I was selling a Phoenix personal protection choice. So if he ended up losing 2 of his ADLs and he couldn't walk on his own, eat, bathe on his own, clothe on his own, toilet on his own, or medicate on his own, instead of it being $6,000 a year, it would increase to say $8,000 a year for 5 years. At the end of that, now yes, that replenishes the bucket faster. The bucket's depleting faster because he's taking more money for 5 years to help him because he needs help with ADLs. But at the end of 5 years, it reverts back to $6,000. And how long does the $6,000 last, no matter if the bucket replenished or not?
Forever.
Forever. Woohoo! Or if you end up in a nursing home, instead of it being $8,000, it would be $10,000 for 5 years. Yes, it's going to deplete the bucket really, really fast. But at the end of that 5 years, if you're still alive and you are still in a nursing home or come back home from a nursing home, it really doesn't matter. What's going to happen? It goes back to $6,000 for how long? Forever. How much would RMD go up? So your RMD, the government wants you to take $3,500 this year, but this year you're taking $3,500 because what you're left in your volume or your bucket, you got to take $35. Oh, you lost 2 ADLs, or you're in a nurse. How much? They don't want you to take any more. You could say, I need more, I need help. But what are you doing to your bucket? You're replenishing it faster. What's going to happen to your RMD next year? It's going to be a lot lower. What's going to happen when your bucket's at 0? You end up with 0. Here, you're protected. Now, by the way, it's either, when you look at a personal protection choice with Phoenix, which I love selling, this is your, whatever the numbers are, this is your guaranteed amount, no matter how long you live when you turn it on. This amount is if you lose 2 ADLs. This is the amount if you end up in a nursing home. It's a choice of the other. It's one or the other. You don't get them both. So I said to him, if you lose 2 ADLs, you may want to hold off to see if nursing home is going to be the future. Because if you turn on this one, you don't get this one. It's one or the other for 5 years. Now, there's one other caveat about Phoenix Personal Protection Choice. It doesn't have to be a continuation of 5 years. It can be 2 years. You go back home, then go back to a nursing home 5 years later. They'll give you the other 3 years. It's only while you're in 5 year max, but it doesn't have to be continuous. Other companies offer that feature, but it's got to be continuous. And if you do go, and by the way, though, they check and make sure you're still in a nursing home. If you're not in the nursing home anymore, it bumps back down, and then the feature is gone. You use 2 years of it. We're supposed to give you 5, but you're back home. The other 3 are gone. They're gone. You turned it on once, you can't turn it back on again. You see what I'm saying? Now, there is another company out there, F&G Life, which has a really spectacular income as well if you end up in a nursing home or lose 2 of your ADLs. F&G's Life will increase the income to a certain amount, whatever the amount is, and they'll continue to pay you that amount, not just for 5 years, but until the pot reaches 0. And when the pot reaches 0, then they go back to the original amount. So it could be 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, but they'll do it until the pot reaches 0, and then they'll go back to the original promise on that nursing home care. But I like Phoenix because Phoenix has got really easy suitability. I like their suitability rules. Just really cool.
I own the F&G one.
Right. Well, you had a situation also your age and everything like that. By the way, different products, different folks, different strokes, different ages. But this one works out for him because of his age. This is also, by the way, this is the only company that I know of that we have that will let you start your income in 30 days. Other companies make you wait a year before you can start your income stream. This company, you can start your income 30 days after depositing the money. And some people are on the verge of RMD law, where they have to start their money in the next 6 months, the next 3 months. And you're catching them right on that verge. Other companies won't work. This one will. Yes.
That's F&G.
No, this is Phoenix Personal Protection Choice. I apologize. That was Phoenix Personal Protection Choice. Phoenix Personal Protection Choice. They're the only ones that can start an income right after you deposit the money within 30 days, which is cool. Phoenix Personal Protection Choice. F&G, American Equity, they make you wait a year to start the income. Yeah.
If the market goes really good, can their income go up or?
Their income could go up with increases in the flow of the income count. Yes, it could. That could happen. But I've got to tell you something. To beat the guaranteed income, the income guarantee is not that easy. Yeah. I mean, you really got to superbly do well because they're already promising you a really good performance. So, by the way, there's one other thing, and I can email it out. Those of you who want to email it out, I've emailed it out to my team. I've created a thing called the myths and the facts of life insurance. I think I have it in here. And I've got to laminate this other one. I've got it in my computer. I've got to laminate to add in here. So I've got what we call the big 8 myths and facts of life insurance. So people think they can't get covered. People think life insurance is too expensive. People think life insurance only pays a death claim. People think you must have a checking or a savings account. People think policies don't pay at time of war. People think they cannot cover a loved one without them knowing about it. People think that you can only buy a term policy for 10, 15, or 20 years or 30 years. And people think you must always give blood and urine and an exam to get a policy. All those are false. That's not in there. This is something different. This is my study guide. So this is my training guide. So this is the facts and myths on life insurance. Well, there's a new one out that I got, the facts and myths on annuities. And there are some myths about annuities that clients have in their heads that aren't true. And our job is to make sure they know they're not true. And again, I can email that out to people that are on my team. The people on my team should have already got it. But it's a really cool thing that you need to learn so that you can squelch if that's the right word, squelch the myths and tell them the facts about annuities. Like people think that when you do an annuity, that's what brought that up. When you have an income ASAP, it's called a SPIA. And Phoenix isn't offering a SPIA when they start that income in 30 days. It's not a SPIA. A SPIA is a single premium income annuity. And a SPIA is owned by the insurance company. So when you do a SPIA, which we don't like doing, you're giving the insurance company ownership of the money. The insurance company is giving you a 10-year or they're giving you a 20-year guarantee of income or your life. So follow me. A SPIA is guaranteeing you a 10-year or a 20-year income of guaranteed or your life. So if you're 70 and you live to be 120, you're going to get the income. Don't worry about it. Follow me right now? Mm-hmm. But if it's a 10-year guarantee that you signed up for or a 20-year guarantee, and by the way, some companies do this, When some companies say, let us keep your 401k and we'll give you a pension or we'll give you an income, they're putting it into a SPIA sometimes. And you gotta be careful of that. You gotta read the fine print. So you're going into a SPIA for 10 years or 20 years. Watch how this magic works. So you live to be 77 and you die. Your family gets the other 3 years of payments and then nothing. I don't care how much money is left in the bucket, they forego the rest of the money to the insurance company. Because you did a 10-year certain and a possible life for your life. You die, they're only on the hook for the certain. And if you sign up for a 10-year certain, the reason they sign up for a 10-year certain, you know why they sign up for a 10-year certain? My lifetime guarantee, I'm telling you, they get it. My lifetime guarantee is $3,000 a year. These are low numbers. What does hypothetically say? My lifetime guarantee is $3,000 a year. Their 10-year certain with the possibility of lifetime is $3,800 a year. So the client goes, I want the $3,800. I'll take the $3,800 all day long. Okay. So you die at age 70, you die at age 77, your family gets 3 more years of that money and then 0. But over here, and by the way, I don't care how much money's left in the pot, but over here, you're getting $3,000 no matter how long you live. You die at 77, your family gets the rest of the money in the pot, which is more than just 3 years of payments. Or if you live to be 80, over here, your family still gets what's in the pot. You live to be 80 here, your family gets nothing. Because there's nothing after 10-year certain. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Or you can also sign up for, there might be a 5-year certain or a 15-year certain. You got to be careful about what you're doing on a SPIA. So SPIAs, by the way, the myth on the pages is, the myth is the insurance companies keep your money. That's not the type of annuities that we sell. But there, that stigma's out there because of this type of an annuity. There's other myths, I can't remember them all, but they're on the page and I can email it out. But don't do a SPIA, and be careful when you see people being persuaded to do a SPIA. I had a client that I wrote an annuity about 2 years ago, and they worked for a company that was trying to take their money, and they were offering them some insane amount, but you had to read the fine print, and the insane amount would end upon his death, and then it would only pay his wife like 3 more years of so much, and then she'd have nothing. So yeah, you're going after that cash cow early, but it can end up backfiring on you if you die early. It's the same as we used to do. There's a joint payout and there's an individual payout. So when the person is married and they're able to sign up for the income benefit when it happens, the company's going to say to them, "Do you want to do the?" By the way, they're my survey sheets. I don't know I had them up here. They're my survey sheets. I can mail them out. I can email them out. They're my survey sheets. Anyway, so the joint income every year for the rest of your life for you and your wife will be $3,000 a year. Meaning that, Alan, you and Sharka are going to get $3,000 a year. When you die, Sharka's still going to get $3,000 a year. If Sharka dies, you're still going to get $3,000 a year. If you both die, whatever's left in the pot goes to your beneficiary. But individual, Alan, if you did it individual, you'd get $3,800 a year. But when you die, Sharka gets only what's left in the pot. And if the pot happens to be at 0 because you died at a nice old age, Sharka gets nothing because you died at a ripe old age with nothing left in the pot. So I used to tell people to do this. Then I had a different thought process from Chris Norris. Watch Chris Norris's thought process. So my thought process is I didn't want the spouse to be messed around with. I'd rather her have a future guaranteed, her knowing what she's got going on, vice versa, everybody's happy. But here you can get more money and be a little greedy, but if you're a little greedy and you die after it runs out of money, she's got nothing, right? Or if you die and there is money in the pot, because she's getting money, write that backwards, because she's getting money, now vultures will come and try to persuade her to do different things with it. Up here, they can't. It's locked in a payment plan. Down here, she's the beneficiary of what's ever left. Now vultures could come in and try to take it, right? Or she's the beneficiary of nothing because you died at a ripe old age. But you were getting more money every year. And I used to think that was bad. Chris Norris gave me a different insight. He goes, no. That's not bad, Eric. Think about this. And let's say it is only 800 more a year. It might be 12,000 more a year. It might be 2,000 more a year. It might be 3,000 more a year. He goes, I would rather see them do this If it's a healthy 68-year-old, if it's a healthy 60-year-old, I would tell him to take that extra $800 and put it into a life insurance policy. Eric, tell him to go individual. Tell him to go individual. Tell him to take the extra money, if he's healthy, get a policy on his life, $100 a month. Now he's leaving his wife not only the remaining balance of what's in his annuity, but now he leaves her a tax-free death benefit of 50 grand, a tax-free death benefit of 100 grand. See what I'm saying? Because the death benefit of a life insurance policy is tax-free. And now you're leaving that tax-free death benefit in addition to whatever's left in here. Or if you worked it to zero, it don't matter. Your wife's still getting a tax-free death benefit, which is better than here because this is taxable. So I never thought about it that way. He opened up my mind, going like, whoa, you're right. People should do individual payouts, take the extra income as long as they invest it in life insurance. But if they're not healthy enough for life insurance, that goes back to me believing they should do this. Because if either you end up leaving your wife nothing if you live too long, or you leave her a lump sum of money where she may not do the right thing with it, or vice versa. Because somebody comes in and swoops in and does something different. Oh, invest, and then they lose it all instead of you having them in a guarantee. You see? Anyhow, that's all I got for you folks. Unless anybody has any last questions, any comments? I just wanted to mention that stuff on annuities. Let me see if I got any other text. Oh, I got a thank you. All right. Nothing? Why are you smiling?
Good show.
Good. Last thing I want to say is I do have convention, NatCon convention tickets for sale. For those of you who don't know, not on my team. $199 for the non-meal ticket. I take payments and I give a free new agent starter kit, and $449 for the meal ticket, and I give 2 free starter kits, and I am taking payments. So that's all we got, folks. Thanks for chiming in tonight's TNT Thursday night training. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Dennis.